um, on AI.
Yeah.
Okay. So which means I have like vast knowledge of AI and I'm more exposed to AI, so to the information about AI. So coming from that angle, settled. Now there was 2-3 years ago. So funny is I've been using AI from way back 2019, but I did not know that it was called AI. So they were just prompts on Photoshop that makes our work faster. Now, but relating it to when everybody started calling it AI, I was scared because I felt it was going to take my job. But note, this is now what I discovered. AI is here to stay. Note that AI is not going anywhere. But AI is coming to replace anybody that does not accept it, understand it, or knows how to use it. So as a photographer, presently, I use AI to run in fact, close to 80% of my workflow now is I use AI. Now, there's an editing tool I use, Adobe, for my photo editing. Trust me, which if you're using a paid version, you have access to using AI to generate some other parts in pictures. There are some times that we can be editing and the airline is not too perfect and we needed something very cool. I can just use AI to generate it. So for me, AI has made my work faster, it has made me more productive, and yeah, AI is here to stay. So yes, I embrace AI. I've been using AI, and and I will keep using AI.
Wow, you're really vulnerable at this point because you made mention of the fact that 80% of your editing process is done by AI, and that's a whole lot. And you're taking me back to what you just said, like it's here to stay. Of course, we have accepted it. I don't know if others have, but I think I have at some point. I've accepted it. You have to accept it. You have to understand it, and then you also have to use it. So whether you like it or yes, at this point, AI is here to stay. So because yes, I mean, I like the fact that you were able to use it for, especially for females, where wedding photography, I see a whole lot of, I think you call it Lagos hairline or the red hairline. And you see some of the glues are falling off or something is happening to the hair. And you're like, this is so tacky. And you see the raw files, and then you get to see the edited picture. Like, is it the same head? Or, I mean, thanks to AI, everybody's making your first picture a lot better and then making the work also faster. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Now, in the course of this your whole journey and your craft that you have been doing. Remember, I called you celebrity photographer, and you have almost 20,000 followers on Instagram. That is a hard nut to crack. I don't know how many years you have had that account, and I don't know if you was followers, but if that followers was organic, you really did something there. Who are these people that have shaped you to who you are today, and how are you able to bag those celebrity gigs? Because I want to bring celebrity to the show. How do you do it?
Okay, so I would say number one is God. Actually, I've been using that account for 15 years. So it's quite, the account is an OG. The account is an OG. Is it 15 years? Yeah. 10 years, sorry, 10 years. 2015. I launched in 2015. Yeah, 10 years. No, so 11 years, let me just say 10 years. Let me just say 10 years. And for over 5 years, it was, the account was more of a personal account. It was more of a personal. So before I came into photography fully, I played drums. So I had, I was a drummer. Let me call it in my first life. So I've always been posting drum content and the like. So when I switched into photography, I just deleted my drum content and just dived into photography. So I had like few followers then. Sure, yeah, things are the algorithm. Let me say the algorithm is now more harder now. Then it was very easier that even from using ordinary hashtags, you get people that will follow you from using hashtags. Way back 2016. 2017, when you use hashtags, black and white hashtags, hashtag Lagos, hashtag Nigeria, people will see you and follow you. So within that time, I had so many for like I had people following me. I was like around maybe 2,000, 3,000 followers. And I think when my followers increased was when Nedu, I don't know, Nedu Wazobia. So there was a
Okay.
time that Nedu do he is going to. So what he does is you comment. So I don't know. There was what he just did then was he said he wanted to help young entrepreneurs get followers and wanted to just support people. So I just just typed easily and by God's grace I was selected. The God factor. I was selected and he posted my page and he even sent me 10,000 then. So people followed me. People followed me. I think that pushed me to like 8K, 10K followers. Then sure, sponsored ad, and people coming to see relatable works. And when Reel came out, which is Instagram Reel, and I had some trending reels that also, trending and relatable reels that also pitched up and just gathered up to this one. Before I was even more than that, it dropped, Instagram, and it dropped to the level that it is now. Yeah.
Trending and relatable reels. Okay,
So
that's good for you.
Okay, so getting to the celebrity part, I would just say it is God, and two is just just being good. If you are good at your craft, funny is the first celebrity job I had was from a very low paid job. Now, but the question is, how did I get the low paid job? So there's this company I work for that it's a professional, company. So I don't get to post their pictures, but there are few of their MD CEOs get to know, and they know me well. So I photographed one of their, top, I don't know, one of their top members. So he now called me at a day and now said, oh, she called me rather. I said she wants me to photograph a particular event, but it is just a small event, and she wants me to just do it at a very low price. I wanted to say no, but when I calculated it, I felt that let me just do it. Do you get? So I called my friends, went there. Now, when I got there, that was when I knew that it was a white party of some set of celebrities. So I just did everything I could do. I photographed. Bam Bam came to meet me. Teddy came to meet me. The question is, they wanted their pictures literally almost immediately. And I said I was going to deliver. So immediately I got home that night. I worked on the jobs as soon as possible and I delivered it. Now, note, something happened. When they walked up to me to request for my number, I was scared to drop it because I've understood the power of hierarchy. I know that everything comes through level. I was scared because I felt maybe the company, which is the new brand I'm working for, we are trying to test my loyalty. So I did not share my number. So I just referred them to the HR that, brought, that recommended me for the job. Now, basically, let me just say I got to meet all these people through recommendation from people that I've worked for over time. So then from there, they reached out to the HR. The HR told me that they were requesting for my number, and I told her to share it. And from there, we are just been working from there. And from there, it's from one person to another, referring. So yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're telling us now that those jobs or the celebrity gigs you get are more of referrals.
Yes, referrals.
Also, okay, so if you guys are still here with us, and I believe you still are, if there's anything we would want to deduce from what he has said so far is the fact that when you are providing value, you're providing value with loyalty, providing value with the value itself, you're going to get referred, you're going to be called, you're going to be looked for. People will look for you. That's literally money looking for you at this point. So I don't think you should be struggling. And I go for the God factor, which you talked about. It's amazing and it's top notch. I think I want to look for that. But now, okay, we hear a whole lot of stories on social media. I mean, we see all of this most of the time, where people tell you, "Oh, I work for this celebrity," and the celebrity was like, "Oh, you know, I'm a celeb, so I'm not going to pay you for this job. I'm just going to post you. I'm giving you visibility." Have you ever faced that before in the journey of your craft for the past 6 years?
I would say no. Funny is, I reached out to. I think so. So immediately. Okay, so let me give you a brief story. So immediately I photographed Teddy and Bam Bam and some other people started coming around. I started reaching out to some set of celebrities. So the person that so I reached out to people. So I think one mistake that we creative or photographers make is we wait for our clients to reach out to us. I think there are some times that you should reach out to some people. Do you get to bring your value down to them? Creating access. So I understood the power of access when I started working with Teddy and Bam Bam, and the circle of their friends that I get to meet at that process. So I wanted more access from more celebrities. Do you get not relating to just those set of people's circle? So I reached out to some set of celebrities, but in all of them, one person responded, which was Zik Saloma. Zik Saloma responded, and funny is when I reached out to him, I said I wanted a collaboration, which he accepted. And after the collaboration, he said no, he wanted to pay me. So yes, people do say that, but from the celebrities that I've worked with, they have, suggested to pay. Which sure, I can't say no now. So yes, it's true. Other photographers work for exposure, but for me, I did not work for exposure. At least, by God's grace.
And you work for money.
It's money. So funny is after they won't pay me my money, all of them still tagged me. I was even shocked because after they paid me, I felt they were not going to tag, but they tagged. So which was a win-win for me.
Okay. So you said something here that I'm going to highlight that for the sake of all of us. Don't be skeptical about not sending that message, sending that email, sending that DM, because most of them will not come for you. You have to go for what you want. You have to go for that opportunity. Eat that frog. That's what. Eat the frog. And Adesoji has eaten so many frogs. I think that's why his cheeks are so choppy and sharp. He's always dancing in most of his videos. If you get to work with Adesoji and you get to see the behind the scenes, he dances a lot. And in the whole of the dancing, I keep wondering and asking myself, is this how easy photography is? Or should I don't be a host, have one big dance, and I should just join him and then start dancing? So we have really spoken about how you started the transition from what was a failure turned out to be this shining star that we are seeing today. He has shared his story so far, so good. We have learned a lot. We've gotten our insights. Now, let's talk about the job of photography itself and gadgets. Are you still hearing me? Okay. Gadgets, 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 gadgets. That is a nightmare of any creative in the industry. Whether you're a videographer, photographer, content creator, whatever you are, there's always these issues with gadgets. It's either it's a light, it's a mic, it's a camera, it's a lens, it's the software, something. But before I ask you about gadgets, a lot of people want to transition into photography or what you do at this point, and some are, still starting off. How do you think what's the fastest way to navigate leaving what you're doing or how to get clients? Because it's one thing for you to be a good photographer, it's another thing for you to have clients to show for a person. What's your portfolio? You don't have a portfolio. We can't trust you, we can't give you our jobs. People often have this issue. What solution can you prefer in terms of this?
Okay, so thank you so much. I would say, as creative in any line, your number one strength is your portfolio. So how you want to create the portfolio, nobody cares. Just create a very good portfolio. And in the process of me growing portfolio, it was very hard because I did not have access to cameras. So I started with my phone. I started taking pictures with my phone until I started getting gigs or jobs that I could, rent a camera to to use the gig. Then I make sure that, so though then back then things were quite more cheaper, or things were cheaper, renting camera now, a very good camera would be around like it's 30,000 naira. But but then it was way cheaper, maybe like 7K, 10K. So I will make sure that any gig I'm getting, I pay for 2 days. So I use 1 day to do the gig, then second day to create a personal portfolio for myself. So getting a model, friends, getting, just create, something I can post to just make my portfolio better. So because this world is more of seeing and believing. It is what they see, that is what they believe. You get so yeah, I from getting little gigs, saving up, renting cameras. Then if you have friends, that own cameras, or if you have people that own cameras, you can be their friends. You can serve them. People don't want to serve. So you get, people don't want to serve. You can serve them, be their friends, help them carry lights when they have jobs. Just find a way to just be useful to them. And trust me, when you need their help, they're going to help. Yeah.
I like the fact that you talked about service, and people see it as, in the Yoruba parlance, permit me to speak this broken English. They say they are doing servants like omo, like they are doing houseboy, and somehow it just makes it look like you're belittling yourself. But then I don't think there's anybody that has risen up to a certain level in life without the act of service, because that's how you learn. And you served. You talked about renting cameras, you talked about having friends who own cameras, you talked about being the in quote unquote boy for that. And now this is where you are. Okay, so if you're still with us, service, loyalty, giving honor to whom honor is due. I think we always use that line during debate in school. All debaters, panel of judges, giving honor to whom honor is due, and all of that. It is still very much handy when it comes to whatever craft in any industry you are trying to build, because I do it myself. I'm a host, and I still go to intern. Yes, I will carry my madam bag. Please tell me for me, because that's how you get to the top. Without service, you will just be, you will be stuck. And I don't think that's good for anybody. So yes, the fun part of this, I can't wait because I was not sleeping yesterday. I needed to get ready. So gadgets. Creative night. So you are a photographer, 6 years experience in the industry. You have worked with celebrities, you have worked with brands, worked with people. What is the importance of gadgets in your craft?
Okay. So I'm going to say gadget is important. I do say that photography is actually split into 2 parts. I would say photography as an art and photography as science. Photography as an art is, who you are as a person, your creativity, the way you perceive things, the way you photograph, your art. So you as a person. Science part is your gadget. So I would say you cannot literally separate the two away from each other. You need to find a way to balance it. So there's no way you're going to talk about the production of your work that you're not going to talk about your camera and every other gadget relating to photography or videography or content creation. So I'm going to say that it depends on you as a person. You basically just start with what you have. Then in the process of evolving, or in the process of growing, you tend to know what you want. Now the problem that we creative have is we look at other people a lot. We don't look at ourselves. We want to be like people, but we don't know the level that we are yet before want to be like some certain people. Do you get? So like I said, when I started photography, I started with a mobile phone. But over time, I discovered that mobile phone was kind of boxing me. I could not explore with it. So what did I start doing? I started making friends with people that own cameras. In the process of making friends with them, I started using the cameras, and I know the kind of camera I want for myself. So because every camera you get today, there's an upgrade tomorrow. You buy a gadget today, in 2 weeks' time, they drop an upgrade. So, and those camera or gadget producers, they are business people. They work on our intelligence. They get every single information that they're using to build any gadget now. We are the one that gave it to them. Do you get? So they are business people. So there will always be new. There will always be a new set of camera. There will always be a new set of gadgets. You know, every day there will always be an upgrade. So basically, it just depends on you as a person or as a creative for you to understand your art and get gadgets that is going to work for you and bring out the best of your art. Because if you say you buy, let's assume that you bought a 3 million naira camera today, trust me, tomorrow there will be, you know, there will be another new set of cameras or new set of gadgets that you want to buy. You can't just be buying all those gadgets every day. So you need to know how to utilize what you have to give you the best possible quality, you know, that you can use, at least to grow to a particular level that you can now afford a better camera or a better gadget.
So the science part and then the art part, which has to do with, you know, your gadgets and of course your creativity as a person has to be put together. So in other words, gadgets are important, but then start with what you have. Because you know a lot of people, okay, before we go into that, as an upcoming or photographer in progress, what the list of the least camera can you say someone can start with without breaking the bank?
Okay, so I'm going to advise the person as if I'm advising myself 6 years ago. One thing as, let me say, as balanced everybody. So if I'm going to talk in pixels now, if you're using a 45 pixel mega camera, you're using a 23 pixel mega camera, one thing is balanced. Instagram takes a particular number of pixels, which is the 1080 or 20 by 84 pixels, which means with a 24 or 20 megapixel camera, your image will still be sharp on, you know, online. You get? Then if you want to go to print, you just need a 24 megapixel camera, which there are lots of cameras in that range. So the difference between, actually, in the real sense, the difference between a big camera, quote unquote, and a small camera is on print. So which is like big billboard print. That is where you can literally tell the difference between, you know, a big camera and a small camera. Do you get? So for a beginner, if you're a Canon shooter, I would recommend like an R or an RP, which they are around maybe 1.5, 1.6 million naira. If you're a Nikon shooter, I would suggest a Z5 or a D750, which is around 1.4, 1.6, depending on the lens you are getting with it. And with the Sony, I've not used Sony so much, but I'm more of a Nikon and a Canon user. So yeah, I know I'm very vast between those two camera brands. So yeah, with 1.5, 1.6 million, you can still get a camera that you can use for the next 4 to 5 years, if you maintain it well.
Oh, emphasis on if you maintain it well. Okay. Now this is going to take me back to your bio. You're a wedding photographer, you're a lifestyle photographer, you also shoot portraits. Now, from my little understanding in this world, I know that one camera lens does not fit all. So let us have a little bit of a class tutorial today for the benefit of the year. That's what we're here, right? For a wedding photography, okay, you talked about the list of the cameras, you talked about Nikon, you also talked about Canon. And then you said R something. But what lenses would you recommend for this? Because I know they'll tell you, I hear things like, oh, wide angle lens, close shot lens, you know, all this. Please, I want you to enlighten us. How do we find the right lens to use as a beginner?
Okay, so for lenses, I would say lenses, there are various and different and thousands of lenses. But to save yourself a lot of stress, I would advise you to personally, I'm a lover of what is the name? I'm a lover of prime lenses. Prime lenses are one focal lens, lenses. So it's like a 35 mm, like a 50 mm, like an 85 mm. So I'm more of a lover of single prime lenses, and because prime lenses are sharper and they allow more light to get into them. Do you get? But if I have like some tight events, I have where I also have access to my friends. I also have access to a 70 to 200 if I have like a some set of events that I get. So basically, for me, I have a 35 mm, which is a wide angle lens, which is very good for events. And I have 50 mm, which is very good for portrait. And I have 85 mm, which is very sweet for portrait. So basically, because of the type of photography I do, I just invested in 35 mm, 50 mm, and 85 mm because I discovered that there are other lenses I can actually use, but because I'm a prime, lens lover, I just invested into those three lenses, and those lenses save, has really saved me so much. You can't get all the lenses, at least for now, until you get to a particular level that you can invest into other lenses. But trust me, for me, a 35, a 50, and 85. Yes, so those three lenses.
So, in other words, from what you said, I think the larger the number, the smaller the space, or how do I put it? Or
Okay,
the smaller the
yes,
number, the wider it is.
this space. Okay, so let me say the smaller the number, the wider the angle. So from 35 below, from 35 mm below, they are wide angle lenses.
Okay.
From 35 mm below, they are wide angle lenses. So I would say medium range lenses are from, let me say, from 50 mm. So from what they said our normal human eye sees at the range of 50 mm. So 50 mm is like normal, like portrait shots. Then 85 mm is for extreme close, for portrait. So you can also use a 50 mm to shoot a portrait, but 85 mm is actually sweeter to shoot a portrait because it's kind of see, a closer view of our faces. Sure, if you have access, there's also 100 mm. So there are so many lenses. Trust me, there are so many lenses for different work. But basically, I just worked with something that number one is affordable. Not that all those lenses are actually affordable, but affordable because if I want to get a 70 to 200 f2.8 is expensive. If I want to get a 24 to 70, it's expensive. Which these are zoom lenses. Do you get? Now for zoom lenses, now there are always two types of zoom lenses. There are the affordable one, and they're like the premium ones. Now the affordable ones are like the f4, but the premium ones are like the ones with like f2.8, which is, it differs. So the one I'm going to get, if I cannot get, so for me, my own personal theory is I'm not getting f4. It is either I buy a prime lens or I gather my money and buy an f2.8, which I know that I'm utilizing the lens to the fullest. So yes.
Okay. Now, if I were you guys, I think at this point we would have had our notes jotted because we have heard a whole lot. We have traveled all the way from a story down to talking about gadgets. Now, let us have a better understanding of the business of photography. It's a business, right? You're trying to make a living, you're trying to make ends meet, you pay bills with this there. How do you make this business work out? How do you find clients? You talk about reaching out, sending DMs, and let's say, for example, you send too many DMs and nobody responded. How do you find clients? How does this business aspect of photography work?
Okay, so number one is I never really had a full brush knowledge on how business of photography was. I had to attend a particular class, business of photography 2024, to have a full based knowledge on how, because when I started photography, I learned, I graduated, and I was just doing it. So I think the problem of our previous bosses is they did not tell us that aside the creative part, there's also a business aspect. So which for the very long time, I was just running it as an hobby because I was just having money, spending, no track, no savings. Even I was saving, but I was saving for another gadget. So no savings, no investments. I was just, it was just for me hand to mouth until I started feeling that, I was just feeling something. I just knew that something was wrong. So I had to attend the business of photography, a class for 3 days to understand the business part of photography, which is even more harder than even the creative part. Because business, you need to work with emotion, you need to understand people, you need to know your audience, you need to know the people you want, all these things collating together to build a very strong portfolio. So at a time, because I wanted to change my set of clients, I had to change or upgrade my portfolio. So if you want to start charging a particular amount of money, do you look like the money? Do you you look like the money? So there was a time that I was charging 200K for a wedding, 250K for a wedding. It was okay, but I wanted more. So when I was trying to transit to the millions, I had to shoot a whole lot of collaboration, premium collaboration images that I had to make up artists will pay. Everybody would gather money, get good hotel, get good set of models, which is, in quote unquote, investing back into portfolio, strong portfolio that when anybody sees this picture, this person will say, no, you are good and I can pay you for this. Investing in looks, haircuts, dressing, signature looks or patterns, to just make it that when anybody sees you, they know that the money that they are paying, worth it. So the business part is not just about the payment. It applies to your personality, your customer relation, your communication, your understanding, and most importantly, your emotions. Yes, your emotions, because there are 1,000 people, there are 1,000 photographers out there. Why are they picking you? So you need to also work on their emotions. You need to make them feel special. So
I think,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I had to learn all those parts. Then I had to understand the bookkeeping part, which is understanding the amount of clients I have, understanding my pricing, understanding the amount of shoot I need to do in a month, the type of shoot I need to do in a month. Then sure, you asked, how do I get them? Sponsored ad. If you know that you need to shoot more weddings this month, you need to run sponsored ads and do bonus or discounts. So you can pay a wedding as low as 1.5 million and get a free or complimentary pre-wedding shoot for one outfit. Just different things should just make it enticing. Because trust me, it's a business, and every other photographer, we are already getting wiser. So you need to also do things to get clients. So through basically the strongest part, referral, 2, sponsored ad, 3, enter the streets, man. Pitch yourself, do collaborations with brands. That also is going to open you to people. Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is Talent Talk, like I said, with everything and so far so good. We have been having a spectacular, insightful conversation with JJ Multimedia CEO Adesoji Ajayi. And quote and unquote, I think this is a masterclass. It's not just a conversation, it's a masterclass, honestly, because the last part of, especially the business part of the photography you just explained, shows that it's not just about the photographer, it's for the creative world, for a talent. As long as you're into buying and selling or you're rendering services, there has to be some sort of monetary value exchange. Then all of those things has to be put together. Because I keep wondering why. And you also made mention of reinvesting back into the craft. Why should people want to pay X number amount of money if you're not the only photographer, right? And the value we give says a whole lot about our craft and what we do. And I must commend you, Adesoji. Your pictures are premium, they're awesome. And okay, I'm saying it now, I'm not big. I'm not big, I know, but we can do something together. I hope when you get to the capital city of Nigeria, we get to work on something really amazing, really awesome, because the pictures are breathtaking. We're also looking for one. Now, let's collaborate. That at least I do not fall from horse. Let me not fall from chair too. Stuff like that, right? So yes, we have had wonderful conversations, guys. If you're still here and have questions for this Ajayi, please you can drop it in the comments, or better still, unmute yourself. You have the floor to ask some questions before we round up on today's talent talk. And it's been amazing, awesome. It's been wonderful. Now we'll talk about the business craft of this. Let's go back to something more fun, something more interesting, right? So, Adesoji, trick question. Simple. There's not really right or wrong person at this point in time, but let's just unwind. Let's give the who wants to be a millionaire kind of hot seat you have been. Don't worry, I'm not Frances Adobo, right? It's everything.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, Sony, Canon, or Nikon, which is your best and why?
No.
No. You have to choose.
Okay.
You have to choose.
Okay. So let me before I choose, let me say it. So there's this theory that I have. The theory is I feel that there's no best camera. It's just based on the way you see colors. So basically, I used Nikon for 5 years, and I just moved into using Canon from last year. So it has been a sweet difference. Do you get? It has been a new experience for me. So before I started using Canon, I was also using Sony. So I've basically used the 3 types of cameras. So basically, because I'm using Canon right now, don't worry, I'll pick Canon. But it's just based on they not pay me. They don't pay me.
No, it's not. It's no ads. We're not trying to sponsor anybody. We're just
no problem. No, so let me say Canon.
Okay, it's amazing that you have used 3 of these cameras, right? So because we hear I see so many things on social media. Oh, Nikon, no, it's Nikon. Sony, yes, Sony is the deal. I've got a Canon. No, Canon has better color science and all of these things. Okay, so for you, Adesoji, you're going with Canon. Fine, sign and seal. All right. Now, as a photographer, do you prefer retouching an image or Lightroom?
No, I have to retouch. So basically, the basic stuff I say is not all pictures pass through the same process. There are some pictures that you just have to just color grade them on Lightroom and just send it to your client. And there's some pictures that you have to retouch. So retouching is not just about the face, it's about understanding, balancing every necessity from the clothes to maybe the physique, maybe due to sitting position, balancing the face. So yeah, I would say retouch it.
Lightroom will just be sitting one corner and say, oh, he's keeping my light. You just throw Lightroom. No, why? Who does that? You're not being faithful at this point. You're not being faithful at this point. Okay. The next question is jollof rice or amala?
No, it's rice now. If I'm working, it's rice because once I leave it, I can, maybe I'm shooting and, I saw a moment that I have to take. Once I leave it, I'm not coming back to it. But amala, I want to do my hands. So rice.
Rice. Okay, so it's safe to say that rice is what makes you dance in your video.
Nah.
You dance. I think I have to start bringing a DJ talent on so because no, the way Adesoji dance is like, isn't it? Okay, very well, okay. All right. That was nice. I think people are really enjoying this, and they don't even have questions to ask us. We've really touched down on the business aspect. We talked about gadgets. We talked about collaboration, reaching out to people, and putting yourself out there, creating amazing portfolios for your brand as a photographer, and not just a photographer, but as a talent in general. And Adesoji has really done justice, sharing from his wealth of knowledge. We really do appreciate you here. all from the entirety of haters and, of course, talent, right? So we have a ritual, not the other ritual, the ritual, the ritual. So for every guest that comes in, they tend to always hail us. And our hailing is very simple because literally that's the logo of haters, right? They give us, you just tell us, you do like this, you do two hands in the air, right? And after that, you give us your final words on Marble, and maybe we can have one trick or three questions before we say, oh, somebody have a question. Okay. Okay. Please, can you unmute yourself? We want to hear your voice. Somebody has a question. Unmute yourself. Tell us where you are, where you're watching from, and ask your answers. The main guy, our celebrity photographer is here. Oh, you are in a noisy environment. Okay, that's fine. I think I can.
Hello.
Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry for the breaking transmission. I practically have no idea what happened. It just kicked me out. So disrespectful. So please, the person who has a question, can we take your questions back again? Can you retype so we can have your questions back again? Thank you. This is so AI needs to work on this particular thing. Why would I just work like that? I mean, what's happening? If you're still with us, please can we get your question? Thank you so much. I think it's Chidera. Are you still here with us? I believe you're still here. So can we? Okay, please. Sorry for the breaking transmission. I practically had no idea how that happened. Can you uh rephrase your question? Let's answer it for you. We had such an amazing masterclass today. Trust me, and this is what like 100,000 naira for an online class. How do you overcome fear when you want to start a business in photography? Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. How do you overcome fear when you want to start a business in photography? Over to you, Ajayi.
Okay, so I would say overcoming fear is just about fear. I think fear is a normal thing for me. Um, it's just a feeling. I think it's just fear of not fear that you don't want to fail. Do you get? So it's just about you get ready to fail because there are sometimes that I did some jobs and I run at loss. So just be ready to fail at every time and ready to learn from your failure and bounce back. So I would say there's literally no fear, or what is the fear about? If it is the fear about starting the business, start it any way you can start it, and you will learn in the process. Yes.
Okay, Arita, does this answer your question, or you have a sub question to this, or a following or support question to this? Because I think literally everybody has fear, right? Yes, everybody has fear. Everybody has. Because till this very moment, for myself, I still fidget when I have an event and I'm like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to get
But once you start,
hooked up somewhere. You know, let me share a quick experience. I once posted early this year. Okay, fine. Okay, set is clear. What has been your greatest motivation in photography? Wow, we didn't see that question coming, but we're glad you asked that question. Thank you so much. It means they've been paying rapt attention. I love this audience. I'm clapping for you. I'm rooting for you all. Fire always hear you.
so I would say my greatest motivation is God, sure, family and friends. Yeah. Yes.
God, family, and friends. God, family, and friends. So GFF. Did you guys hear that? God, family, and friends. This has been his greatest motivation. Can you imagine he didn't even call clients? People that don't know. This life is not fair. This life is not fair. Okay.
So,
Let's go ahead. I can hear you.
so funny, my first set of models were families. My first, people that started recommending were families and friends. So, and sure, God in quotes, just putting me in people's hearts, and sure. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm very particular about the first question that was asked, the fear of the Irene, so would you mind sharing where exactly you are in your journey right now to see how we can help you? Help you by advising you, not by giving you money, because I don't know if Ajayi is opening to mentoring anybody now, because I know he mentors people. And we didn't even talk about your mentoring journey, because I know you mentor people a lot. But are you open to mentorship at this point? Can we have can we send you 2 interns for you to, help us brush and mentor? If he says yes, oh, yes, have it. And this is sex. That's how we get people. So I really right, ask, where exactly are you on this journey? We are here to support you. If you have started and if you've not, that's still fine. I want to believe that Ajayi's DM is open for you to have like a one-on-one consultation. Is it going to be free or charged? Okay.
For this person, it's free. Don't worry.
You should tell me now. Thank me. It's free for this person. That's how great. Okay. Maybe he's going to send you a DM anyways, because I believe he's passionate about it, and that fear of the thing is something that keeps a lot of people, stuck. And if you don't have anybody to push you, to hold your hand, to keep telling you, oh, I believe in you, you can do it. Most dreams have been shattered because of that same factor, the fear factor. So I don't think we have any other questions from anybody. So are we now okay to, for you to hear us and give us your final words on Marvel?
So what am I going to say?
I hear you.
Okay, hello.
I think again. Somebody should be drumming there now. You want a drummer, like bum 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 bum. Somebody be drumming.
Hello.
Okay, thank you so much. So what are your final words on Marvel?
So I would say my final words is thank you for the opportunity to come again. Thank you for let me say second opportunity to come again from the organizers and you. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story, at least in a little way, and for people to also learn from me. So I'll just say, just start with whatever thing you have. Start with that phone, start with that small camera. Just start. You always, see, you will grow. You will grow. Just start.
So if you're here on this live and you're not following Adesoji on his Instagram, please kindly do so by following him on Adesoji Ajayi, if I'm not mistaken. And also, me, if you've not followed me, why? Okay, I'm not big. I'm begging people, please follow me. Follow me. My name is Everything on Instagram. Follow healers.com. You know, a little bit, just a quick information about healers. Healers.com, like I said earlier, is a platform globally that harnesses talents, whatever you are, whatever you feel you want to showcase to the world, and do not have that community that supports you, that sees the best in you. Healers.com is the place to be. You can participate in any of the challenges that we have, because we have challenges every week. And also our $10 Tuesday, where you come to perform any talent you know that it's worth to be seen. And if you're lucky, you get to win $10. They try to get me to clap. We should clap now. $10 in this Nigeria economy is not big. So I mean, this is what healers do. And if you are in any Nigerian university, healers is also planning on having communities there. You can join the healers school community. You can reach out to me by DM, send you the link, and you get to meet a lot of your peers. This is the way healers is contributing and giving back to the society of quote talent in Nigeria and across the globe. So we're excited to have you here. If you're in Unilag, if you're in Port Harcourt, University of Port Harcourt, whatever university you are in Nigeria, healers is coming, and you want to be there. So I still remain Everything and the Premium host in number one in Nigeria, possibly Africa and the globe. And thank you for hanging out with me with the celebrating photographer and Jason. See you guys next time. For now, and it is bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello. Thank you so much.